and just talk a little bit about how the surveillance day-to-day works.
How much way you guys came in?
Well, I came off the border, but then I went in front of it, buddy, and then went for that turn. I didn't know if I could park there or park in there, so I
just tell them you're here for the press conference, that you did not go into Canada, and they'll just send you over. They'll park you and send you upstairs.
So we call me, go from. Are you going afterwards again?
Oh yes, it's always nice.
Just tell them you're here for the press conference. You need to park in the secondary parking lot. They'll point out where you're supposed to go. All right. All right.
Yeah, all the A-listers get off the holidays. Us B-listers
in
get the
front.
Okay, you don't want to call ABC and let them know. Okay.
Do they all know outside?
Okay. Cool, sounds good.
You got like around here?
The Buffalo News guys in one of the truck lanes. He accidentally got on the bridge and turned around.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, or maybe the truck lines, just so they know to park them and bring them up here. I have a written statement for you guys that you can take with you too, as well as and just so you know, I'll take some questions, but with it being an ongoing investigation, there's details I can't get into. I'll either give you that, or
we're just waiting for the Buffalo.
Tell you guys to check. Sure. All right. And I have a contact for Jacksonville.
Oh, great. Yeah.
You guys want to write that down now?
Sure. Yeah. Melissa, M-E-L-I-S-S-A dot, I'm going to spell this last name for you. B as in boy, U as in uniform, J as in Juliet, E as in echo, D as in delta, A as in alpha. At Jax, J-A-X, Sheriff, S-H-E-R-I-F-F.org. That's your email. After today require anything additional regarding the investigation obviously. So this is Jacksonville Sheriff. What we did, yeah. Yep.
So you guys can sell this for me. The enhanced driver's license.
I'm better looking.
He's my neighbor, so the enhanced driver's license.
Yep.
Is it still required to have a passport along with the enhanced driver's license?
Enhanced is good for the land border.
Right.
Not airports. Not flying. Not international flying. Let me rephrase that.
Right.
Yes. Not to fly international. Okay. So anything air travel is passport. Anything land border, passport, access card, enhanced driver's license, it's all fine.
I only have an enhanced. I haven't had an updated passport in years. It's not great, but.
I was in passport as well.
Yeah.
They do it in like 2 days over the passport office. Like that.
It's more just signature.
But you have to pay the extra.
You have to pay the extra.
Yeah. The Department of State's only 2
We heard
days.
it's our honeymoon in March. And it's like,
I ordered my kids and had them in like, I mean, not even 2 weeks. So, it's not.
It's funny, we have to. You have to pay the extra if you're using office, but the dog is passport.
We did like that October 14th,
Right.
like expedited passport day.
But at least it goes into the pool. It's not you showing up saying, I need it now, you know.
Right,
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
They're really nice though.
Black Friday went off without a hitch. There were no fights, no covering
No,
fights
you
or
know
anything.
what? It's
No
like
stories.
More people
I know.
go. I feel like now more people kind of go on Thanksgiving because we were at the fashion outlets and everybody was there. Like babies were out at like 11. It was like everybody was there, but like Toys R Us, we were at it like 5, and it was not a long line at all.
I can't imagine.
It was.
I'm not giving them Thanksgiving. If I'm not working, I'm not able to. Other than doorbusters, yeah, you can buy it online.
Even the doorbusters you can get online a lot of times.
Right, yeah, other than like Best Buy's 3 TVs they have in stock or something.
I feel like Best Buy is the biggest long-standing Thanksgiving night one.
Yeah, and Walmart.
Yes.
Walmart might be the first.
I think Walmart. I heard Walmart was pretty.
Walmart and Target both opened at 6.
I was hoping they would kind of drift away from that and just go back to.
But I was at Target at like 6:20, and like there was no line out. I mean, once the initial rush, like it was just business as usual inside.
I think JCPenney's opened at 2. Like they were careless. Yeah.
I guess for this area, maybe because it's not the Canadian holidays, they can cross the border and go shopping.
Well, it's always, like, didn't everyone you,
Here we go.
the Danny did this Canadian, right?
Spectrum and Buffalo.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's everybody. Okay, so I'll let them get set up and set up.
All right, thanks. Not that side. You got a leg up already.
I know.
Don't feel rushed, catch your breath, take your time. I'm not, I knew you guys were coming, so it's just, it's not like it's live. It was a hard start to stop. They take care of you okay on primary? There you go. They didn't tip the car upside down and shake everything out, right? They were all aware. Yeah, they're all aware. So it happens all the time. It's not the easiest place to do.
I was told that there was a place left off the
Yeah.
Really?
As soon as you pass those orange cones right there, there's no thing. The construction is not really easy. No, it's just the domestic.
The Kickstarter was my favorite. Well, you didn't have to try it. But it's
That's
like,
okay.
it's the best coffee you'll
I work here, so it's a little bit easier for me.
So
It makes sense, but I understand.
They did one, and we have the commercial on too. You can see, it's really good.
Everyone's gonna want me to spell my name, et cetera, on camera, right? I'll
Yes.
start out with that. I'm
Yeah.
Aaron, by the way. Hi, nice to meet you. And we spoke on the phone, so I'm here. Hi, how are you? I'll let these guys get their cameras set up.
Can you stand, just,
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so I can get a
Can we
focus.
a picture.
while you're, while they wait up here? Let's see if I can do it with a little bit of light.
This is only the second time I've delivered a statement.
Oh, yeah,
behind a
that
podium.
definitely reaches.
I don't like it, but I'm more, it's a lot easier when it's not behind the podium. But it'd be a little more difficult to do 5 one-on-ones.
Yeah.
So.
That's what it's mine on. Yeah, I'm at 3,200. Okay. If you want to punchers on, it might give it a little more pop.
You guys, everybody has audio? Okay. Tom, do you want to put your digital recorder up here, or will it capture there? Okay.
I've got good sound.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Make sure they know we're starting.
I posted in Slack, but he also didn't answer me.
Let me know when all you guys are all set and ready.
And just try to get the, hey, we're ready to go. Thanks.
Good?
I'm good, yep, thank you.
Are you guys okay on the, you're all set? I can start? All right. My name's Aaron Bowker, and I'll spell that for you. Aaron, B as in boy, Owker. I'm the Public Affairs Liaison for Customs and Border Protection at the Buffalo Field Office, which covers the Peace Bridge here in Buffalo, New York. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. U.S. Customs and Border Protection is on the front line protecting our borders, our country, and our communities. CBP officers at our ports of entry are the first line of defense. Our officers are typically the first people travelers encounter upon arriving in the United States. On Friday evening, CBP officers at the Peace Bridge encountered Logan Mott, who had made a wrong turn onto the bridge. During the primary inspection, officers became aware that Mr. Mott was the subject of a warrant for grand theft auto out of Florida. Mott was taken into custody without incident. After confirming the warrant with the Neptune Beach Police Department, CBP was advised that Mr. Mott was the person of interest in a murder investigation in Jacksonville, Florida. Mott has been detained and is currently being held by the Buffalo Police Department on the grand theft auto warrant. CBP is working closely with the Buffalo Police Department and Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to further their investigation. As you know, it takes everyone, federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies working together to ensure wanted individuals are found, detained, and face justice. Now, at this time, I'm able to take a few questions, but please understand that this is an ongoing investigation and the information I'm able to share is limited.
Was anyone else in the vehicle besides Mott?
No.
Has there been any other persons detained here in regard to this investigation?
No.
For how long was he a person of interest in Jacksonville, and what length of time did it take for him to get there all the way here?
That I'm not aware. All I'm aware of is the auto theft warrant. You'd have to check with Jacksonville Police Department on how long that's been going on.
Could you talk about the coordination, though? I'm sure you're working with JSO, you're working with BPD. Can you talk about coordinating the efforts to get this?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I said, it takes that joint effort. Nobody in law enforcement can operate by themselves. So anytime you have a local warrant, this is not a federal warrant, it's a local warrant, you have to communicate not only with the people who are the originating office of that warrant. So in this case, the warrant for the grand theft auto was out of Neptune Beach, but also because they informed us of Jacksonville Sheriff's interest, you have to coordinate with them as well. And the Buffalo Police Department, being the local police department here in the city that would handle that, it also requires coordination. So a lot of coordination, but again, we're all law enforcement organizations. We work closely with Buffalo Police Department all the time. These are calls we regularly make. We regularly see active warrants like this out of other states, other municipalities, and we're used to working closely with them on things like this.
I understand he didn't have a license because I believe he's 15. How did you guys run his information to find out about that warrant?
We're CBP with the databases we have. We're able to confirm identities and such.
Was the auto he was arrested in the same one that was reported stolen in Neptune Beach?
He was driving a 2015 Dodge Dart is the vehicle that I have that he crossed the border in. Whether that's the vehicle in question down in Jacksonville, you'd have to refer to Jacksonville Police Department.
You're saying he crossed the border, so he actually got to the inspection?
Well, what happens is once you enter the outbound lane and you make it up onto the bridge, regardless of whether you go into Canada or not, there's border nexus. So you've made a meaningful departure at that point, whether he didn't get into Canada, but he turned around on the bridge and came back. So the Canadian authorities never saw him. He just turned around on the bridge on his own.
Are Jacksonville officers, maybe Neptune Beach officers, are they coming here to assist in that investigation?
You'd have to contact Jacksonville Police Department for that.
What would be the process to even bring or take him back to Jacksonville, Florida?
You'd have to contact Buffalo Police in Jacksonville for that, because that would be a state and local extradition. That's not something that we deal with. We deal with it at a federal level.
Sorry.
How old was Mr. Mott?
15.
And is there a way that you treat juveniles compared to adults, and how is he treated specifically?
Of course. Well, we treat everybody professionally with respect. So, regardless of age. But yes, juveniles do go through our juvenile processing, but as far as turning him over at that point to Buffalo Police Department, you'd have to contact them on how he's detained there.
But you initially processed him as a juvenile?
I mean, here at the port of entry, yes. But what that means is keeping him away from other adults and things like that.
Are you able to interaction with him? Was he agitated? How was he when you guys detained him?
The only thing I have from the initial inspection, it was a normal inspection at the border. We encounter wrong turns all the time. Obviously he is underage, but believe it or not, that happens as well. And as far as the actual interview itself, the primary officers conducted their interview. They were able to take him into custody. There were no other issues.
If you're saying he wasn't trying to enter Canada, do you have any idea where he was trying to go then?
I do not.
And was there anything that you recovered from the car? Were there weapons in there? I know that's what police in Florida were afraid of, that he did have something on him.
Okay, so part of a border inspection is a border search. But because of that ongoing investigation, I can't get into the results of that search. So you will have to contact Jacksonville Police Department, who we are working with closely, if you need more information on that.
Just to clarify, his intention was not to cross the border?
I don't know what his intentions were. I just know we encountered him here.
So what's interesting about this, an average driver crossing here would not encounter U.S. Customs. You'd check in with Canadian Customs at the other end to be able to cross.
Unless it was part of unless we were doing an outbound inspection at the time, but yes, for the most part, that would be correct.
So the fact that this guy turned around alerted you guys to him. Is it simply coincidental and unique that he happened to turn around and you guys did this search on him?
It happens a lot. People can be confused, especially if you're from out of the area, but even people from the local area that aren't used to driving right around the border, it happens a lot. People accidentally get on the bridge. So it's that initial interview by the officers that allows them to see what's going on, but in this case, they were also alerted to the active warrant.
Would Canadian Customs have that warrant information had he gone that far?
I can't speak to the systems that the Canada Border Services Agency has, but we do work very closely with them, and we're in constant communication every day on border issues. So I'm sure had they been leery of something, we would have gotten a phone call.
Have you all been able to talk to his mom at all or his family at all?
I don't have any knowledge on that. Again, I would refer you to Jacksonville Police Department.
Do you know how old the warrant was?
I do not know.
You mentioned that wrong turns happen all the time. There's underage people, people without licenses. You take people into custody here often.
Yes.
We're here for a press conference, though,
Yep.
because of the connection with Jacksonville.
Sure.
Can you put this in perspective to everyday arrests? Is this anything out of the ordinary for you?
I would say yes, because it was a little fluid. But the wrong turn part, no. The active warrant, no. It's something that the officers are trained to deal with on a daily basis. But considering the distance, the time that it occurred in, which was a short window, I would say that's a little more unusual than normal, but not something that the officers on primary, the officers in secondary, our supervisors that they're not trained to deal with. So everything was handled the way it should have been handled.
What time last night did this happen?
I want to say it was a little after 7 p.m. at night, but let me just, a little after 7 p.m. at night.
Given the nature of